Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome back to another episode of Jash Reads. Uh, the latest season of The Boys has started. On Friday, they released the first three episodes, and Termite kills a guy in the season premiere, and I honestly don't know if I'll ever get over that. Now, those of you who have seen the episode will probably be laughing your butts off about, oh, yeah, you just summed it to he killed a guy. Yeah, it's a scene. It's a great show, but that scene is like, wow. But anyways, last time I live streamed for like it seemed like a day, my video was set for private. YouTube said, oh, blah blah blah, didn't really explain why. And so when I go to start this live stream today, I finally see the message, because I really don't go to YouTube Studios little part unless I'm about to film. And I see the videos uploaded you uploaded between May 19th and May 20th might have been set to private by a bug in our system. We're sorry. And you can change it. It's like, oh, okay, it was just a bug. I did nothing wrong. And in preparation for this video, I'm like, okay, I won't use any tags. I'll really decrease the links. But yeah. And before I continue and start reading, there's going to be some either, I think, Portuguese or Spanish. I did not double check, but since this takes place in the Amazon in Brazil, it's most likely Portuguese. But I'm trying to read and pronunciate like Spanish because I'm more familiar with Spanish. I know like a few words and phrases, which is really sad coming from me who has a grandma who's from Puerto Rico. I visited Puerto Rico when I was younger a bunch of times, and I also took Spanish classes, and then I'm like, what can I say? Lo siento. That's my favorite phrase, just because I tend to remember words more, how they sound and are pronounced. And it's just very funny that my favorite phrase I know in Spanish is also sort of my life's motto. And for anyone who doesn't speak Spanish, lo siento means I'm sorry. I'm very awkward, and, if you meet me in real life, very awkward. So let's get started, and hopefully, the bug that was in YouTube system doesn't come back and send my video to private. So yay. No, I totally did not panic when that happened. Okay, this is Animorphs number 11, The Forgotten, chapter 18 by K.A. Applegate. I just realized I fucked up the opening. Damn it. 5:25 p.m. We had been in Monkeymore for almost the 2-hour limit. It was time to change and regroup and hopefully figure out what to do next. We swung away through the trees, far from Vischer 3. We scampered down to the ground and began to demorph. Tobias flew up and landed on a fallen tree beside us, since there were no low branches. There was a black, singed area on his tail. Tobias! Cassie cried. She rushed over to him as soon as she was human again. I'm fine, Tobias said, as Cassie lifted his tail to check for damage. But someone took a shot at me and almost hit me. I guess one of the human controllers must have been a bird watcher. He knew red tails don't fly in the Amazon. But before they chased me off, I saw them working on our crashed bug fighter. 3 Texans crawling all over it, repairing it, and a bunch of Hork-Bajir shooting anything they didn't like. I told Tobias what we'd overheard Fisher 3 saying. They need the bug fighter to get back to the right time. I don't know why. And Axe doesn't know why. X was fully Andalite again. He held up the yellow disc. They cannot fly that bug fighter without this. I guarantee it. He was still focusing on that, not thinking ahead to the fact that we needed the Yerks to have the stupid computer now. I know it sounds weird, but I was actually mad at Axe for not seeing what an idiot I'd been. I wanted someone just to say, Jake, you've blown it, man. You're not the leader anymore. It would have been a relief. Jake! Rachel hissed. What? Don't move. Don't anyone move a muscle, Rachel said. I moved nothing but my eyes. From the bushes around us, utterly silent, the heads began to rise. Beside each head, a spear, cocked and ready to fly. I, I, I think the local guys have the drop on us, Marco said nervously. I was amazed. It is impossible to sneak up on an Andalite. It is even more impossible to sneak up on a red-tailed hawk. And yet about 12 guys, some older, some younger, all with intense jet black eyes and black hair, had done just that. There was no doubt in my mind that if we even twitched, let alone attacked, 12 poison tipped spears would fly, and the 6 of us would go down permanently. Cassie? Marco whispered. You're the tree hugging, save the rainforest, love the planet person here. Who are these guys? Humans? Cassie said. No, duh, Marco said. That's all I know. Humans. Some bunch of people who live here. What am I? An encyclopedia or something? I don't think they like us, Rachel said. But they don't look like they want to kill us. I recognized one of the faces. It was the kid who'd thrown a spear at me before. His alert, black eyes watched me. Rachel was right. They didn't like us. I wonder if they saw us morph? I decided to try raising my hands in a gesture of peace. Slowly, I raised my hands, palm out. No one stabbed a spear at me. That was a good sign. I took a deep breath. Until that moment, I'd forgotten to breathe. Hello? We don't want any trouble, I said. You got that right, Marco whispered. One of them stepped forward and came right up to face me. He may have been 30 or 40 or 80. I couldn't be sure, but he was definitely the leader of the group. You could tell. He was wearing extremely little. So little, I think Rachel and Cassie would have been embarrassed if they weren't busy being terrified. The man lowered his spear and peered intently into my face. He spoke, but it was no language I knew. Sorry, I don't speak Um, whatever. The man thought that over for a moment. Then he pointed a finger at me and said, Macaco. I guess when I didn't understand that either, he decided I was an idiot. He launched into an amazingly good pantomime of a monkey. Oh, monkey! Monkey is macaco? The man nodded and smiled. Then the smile was gone. He jabbed a finger right in my chest. Macaco, tu, espiritu macaco. Whoa, Marco said. That's Spanish. Espiritu means spirit or soul. Maybe it's Portuguese, Cassie said. They speak Portuguese in Brazil. This man is probably the headman of his village. He probably has some dealings with the Brazilians. He must have learned some Portuguese. Portuguese, Spanish, they're sort of alike, Marco said. Spanish is all my grandmother speaks, and my mother grew up speaking Spanish. So you can translate? Rachel asked. Well, no. I mean, I know maybe 50 words, but it's easy to figure what he's saying. He's saying Jake is a monkey spirit, a spiritual macaco. So they did see us morph, I said. I nodded at the man. Yes, a spiritual macaco. Yes, I was a monkey spirit. He looked hard at Axe, at his extra stalk eyes and his wicked tail. Mal! Diablo! No, wait, sorry, I said that wrong. Okay, let's pretend the last few seconds didn't matter and I can speak perfect Portuguese, Spanish, whatever. This is probably Portuguese because Diablo means devil, or I think Spanish might. God damn. Now I just want to take 5 or 10 minutes looking up the etymology of Diablo, and I'm really having to restrain myself not to do. Yeah, if you're wondering if I was able to, go in college for longer, I would have probably found myself specializing in etymology. But that's it. Total. That's a topic for a totally different video or post or whatever. Anyways, actually, let me. I'm not procrastinating. He looked hard at Axe, at his extra stalk eyes and his wicked tail. Ma! Diabo! I'm guessing he's calling Axe a devil, Marco said. I shook my head firmly. No ma! No diabo! The man glared at Axe. Then he took the butt of his short spear and began to draw something in the dirt. It took a few seconds for me to recognize it. It was a creature with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a tail. It had blades on its elbows, knees, and head. The man pointed at the drawing. Diabo! Monstro! I swear, I almost started laughing in sheer relief. The man had drawn a Hork Bajir. Yes, definitely. Mal, Diabo, Monstro, and any other bad word you can think of. I took my bare foot and rubbed out the drawing. He liked that, Rachel said. The guy grinned and slapped his chest. Polo. That's either his name or his favorite brand of shirt, Marco said. I pointed at myself and said, Jake. The man nodded. Then he rubbed out what was left of the Hork-Bajir pitcher. He grinned a huge grin. He laughed out loud, and all his men and boys laughed with him. Even the kid who tried to shish kebab me. You know, I think I like these guys, Rachel said. Suddenly, the skies opened up and rain came pouring down on us, pouring down like we were standing under Niagara Falls. Polo grabbed my hand and forearm in a strong grip. We were sealing a deal. Diabos! Mata diabos! I think he said hunt? Kill the devils? Marco said. I looked into Polo's eyes. I had no doubts. That is exactly what he said. Polo and his people stepped back into the bushes, and in an instant they were invisible in the pouring rain. Those little guys up against Hork-Bajir warriors? Rachel shook her head skeptically. I have a feeling about those little guys, Cassie said. I think maybe this forest is theirs. They don't like a bunch of alien Diablos stomping around killing everything in sight. Better to have them on our side than against us, that's for sure, I said. Suddenly, I felt really tired. Too many dangers, too much adrenaline. And even though it was just late afternoon here, in Brazil, in this time, my own body had been awake and fighting and morphing for almost 24 hours. The rain was just absolutely pouring down from the sky. Tobias couldn't even think about flying. I could see I wasn't the only one exhausted. So, this would be the rain part of rainforest, Marco said. They don't do anything halfway around here, do they? We trudged through the downpour, drinking our fill from the water that drained down off the leaves. But finally, I could see that no one could go any further. Okay, let me do that again. For some reason, no matter if the words farther or further, I'm just like, oh, it's further. That two different words don't exist. Yep. Okay, let's take that back from the start of the paragraph, which is luckily only a few words. But finally, I could see that no one could go any farther. At least I couldn't. Time was running out. We had just about 3 hours. We had no solid plan. It was the worst possible time for a rest, but there was no going on. Not yet. Let's take a break, I said. Where? Marco asked. I flopped down in the mud and rested my back against a tree. Right here, man. Right here. Cassie came and sat beside me. The noise of the falling rain made our conversation private. How are you doing? Cassie asked me. I shrugged. I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? She looked at me skeptically. Jake, I know you. I can see it on your face. You're worried and you're mad. Since I don't think you're mad at any of us, I'm guessing you're mad at yourself. I looked away. Everything will work out, I lied dully. You know, it was kind of funny seeing you and Polo together. Yeah, why? I didn't really care. I was too tired to care. But Cassie was being kind, and I needed some kindness. Because you're the same, you and Polo. He's you, and you're him, the leaders. He took a risk putting down his spear. We might have killed him and his people. There was no way he could know if it was the right thing to do. He just made the best decision he could. That's all anyone can ask from any leader. I felt for Cassie's hand in the rain. It was too dim and gray to see her face well. I'm so tired, I said. Cassie laid her head on my shoulder. I know, Jake. Rest. Just rest. And end chapter. Oh, fuck. Over the course of the video, my bird goes like, Yoop! You're on a cruise that's in the middle of a storm. God damn. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I have a problem at times where I breathe, I drink a little bit of water, I cough, and I have to spit up, stuff. So yeah. And in that brief time you saw the plant, her name's Saphira, and there was a tropical storm. Agatha came through here. Luckily, I think it was like downgraded to tropical depression before it hit. But just in preparation, I moved her inside. Yeah, it's been like a year and I still haven't planted or found somewhere in the yard too. Yeah. But anyways, back back on track here, folks. This is the joys of doing things live. You have stuff like that happening. So if you're not prepared, don't do things live. But okay, anyways. So I only speak a little bit Spanish. By the fact that they Polo said Diablo and not Diablo, I'm going more in line that it's probably Portuguese because I believe Diablo is Spanish for devil. So I think that one word is the only way I can tell the difference. And I might be wrong with that. But yeah, this chapter, they're all like trying to settle down, and then it's like, luckily they run across some allies that know the place, and like, yeah, okay, we're friends now. But yeah. And yeah. Uh, I've. Yeah, and then at the end, Jake's like, oh my gosh, I just shouldn't rest, but I need to. And I think one of the highlights of the chapter, besides his whole conversation with Polo, was the fact that he wanted someone to be angry at him for making the mistake. He wanted Axe to be angry at him. He wanted, and then he's like, following that line of thought, he's like, I just want someone to say, Jake, you're a fucking moron. You're not the leader anymore. And it'd be just a relief for him. And again, that's really a big theme of this book about how hard leadership is, how making one decision that seems to be correct can just lead to, bad things happening. And then you make bad decision after bad decision while thinking you're doing the best thing. It's hard. And of course, Jake's wanting someone else take leadership, and even when talking with Cassie, he doesn't immediately open up, go, even though their conversation is private, going, "This is our bullshit. Yeah, Cassie, I don't know what's going on. I just want someone to take leadership from me." Even with her, he is trying to put on this leader facade of I know what I'm doing, and she's like, "Jake, I'm smelling the bullshit." So yeah. So my question for you, please answer down below. It's loosely based on this chapter is, do you know any Spanish or Portuguese? And if you do, what's one of your favorite words or phrases and why? Again, my favorite phrase in Spanish is lo siento. Uh, means I'm sorry. It's just really funny that I'm like, hey, that sounds nice. And it's just like my motto. Lo siento. And God, I was in Puerto Rico last year. It's a hell trip. That's a totally different discussion. And I had one chance to say lo siento. Like one perfect moment, I made a mistake and I could have said lo siento. I said I'm sorry. Then, like a second afterward, I like, damn it. I could have said it where they would understand. God, missed opportunities. And of course, please comment down below with anything else you notice in this chapter, anything I didn't discuss. But remember, no major spoilers. I'm hoping against hope that people discover Animorphs via these videos. I know that's just a long shot, it's a shot in the dark, but you know, there might be, viewers that have never really touched on Animorphs that maybe never read past Animorphs number 11. Maybe Animorphs number 11 was the only book they've read. And, I want to leave some, I want them to discover the Animorphs series like we discovered the Animorphs series. And spoilers means if I haven't done a Jash reads on the book, haven't read through all of it on this channel, then that would be considered spoiler territory. And if you're wondering why I'm saying that, it's because some of the extra books like the Megamorphs, the Chronicles, everyone has their own reading order, so we're just going to stick with the reading order I do on this channel. So, anyways, if you find yourself like, hey, Animorphs number 11, this seems awesome, I want to get my very own copy. Uh, if you're watching this on YouTube or my Patreon or my blog, link down below so you can buy your very own copy. And buying via that link will both, give money to the people who actually did all the hard work of making the books. It will, since it's an Amazon associate link, I will also get, a little bit from it too. I can't say how much, I'll just, just know it's a way to help donate to me too at the same time. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I cut way back on all the links because I'm like, maybe that's the problem. So yeah, I kept the key links, and with these links, you should be able to discover everything I've mentioned in the past. But anyways, first is Twitter. I'm Jashikins on Twitter. I'd be happy to chat with you about things Animorphs, about nerdy things. Again, I'm keeping up with the boys. I've also, caught all up with Stranger Things and can't wait for season 4, volume 2 to release. And always also a fan of the Umbrella Academy that's also dropping its latest season on Netflix later this month. And my cockatiel Navi, that's her favorite show. Jorah is a Trekkie. I forget what Ghost like. Oh yeah, Ghost really likes The Sopranos. Yeah, so Navi will be very happy to so I know one of my birds will be very happy about. Yay. About Lacey's and Umbrella Academy. But anyways, you can chat to me on Twitter. Just be aware if you ask me Animorphs questions on Twitter, I don't have this whole no spoiler thing going on. Okay? And so just be aware. If you don't ask me Animorphs questions if you don't want the risk of running into spoiler territory. Next, my Patreon. I am Jashikins on Patreon, and you know, that's helped me, make a little money off my whole blogging experience. So if you have been a viewer for a while, you've been a fan, ta-da! And right now, as I'm working through the whole vertigo thing, getting things back to normal, the whole perks aren't going on per normal. So, but what you do, the one perk you do get that I don't think I have listed or mentioned, I probably do have mentioned on my Patreon, is that when I release a new book, you get to read of the first chapter before it actually comes out. So, yay! And about my books, that's the link is going to be in the description on YouTube, but there will be links to these books if you're on either my Patreon or my blog. That is Kafka's Men. It's grimdark superhero reverse harm series. There's a body horror. I mean, the main character Kafka shapeshifts. There's romance. There's body horror. I mean, I think I really like to explore the body horror of shapeshifting just because Animorphs taught me how disturbing it could be. So, yeah, I like that. So, that's all. Oh yeah, before I forget, please like this video if I've gotten this far in the video, give yourself a pat on the back. And also get a like. And remember, subscribe so you don't what I don't know what and remember to subscribe, ring the little bell so that you don't miss any Animorphs content because I am going to be reading this entire series. And with the vertigo making me be less than able than usual, yeah, it's going to take some time. So, you need that notification so you can go, oh my god, she's finally covering another chapter. And before I go today, I want to say, of course, thank you and please stay safe. I was actually going to film like this video like a week ago, and the Uvedale, shooting happened, and luckily my vertigo was taking me for a little spin, so I couldn't really film that day. So yeah, I really wish, you know, things would get better here, but that does not seem to be happening. Like, it just seems like it's just going to be the same. Oh, basically both sides going, we should do something, and then nothing gets done. So I really hope that changes because like 19 kids got killed before going on summer break. And summer breaks there in childhood is like fucking nirvana. And yeah, so I don't really want to say anything more. Just I hope something gets done. And if you're in a position that you're able to change something to get, yeah, there needs to be some restrictions on guns. Not taking away all the guns. Don't you dare take away my handgun. But yeah. But sorry, I need to stop ad libbing about this stuff because now I'm getting myself more depressed and My ADD is making my mind go. But anyways, stay safe. Hope you have a good summer. Yeah. Bye.